Welcome everyone to another episode of the Lore Pod Podcast. I'm your host Dakota Morgan, coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we are actually diving into a book. We don't often dive into regular novels, but today we're going to the Jurassic Park book series. I know, shocker. I'm your host Dakota Morgan, coming from Phoenix, Arizona, of course. A business out of the way here, everybody, is gonna be Twitch, CodaRex97, Instagram, CodaRex97, X at Dakota_Morgan3, and a YouTube page in case you're listening just on YouTube or on podcast app, Dakota Morgan on YouTube. And of course, be sure to subscribe to the show, everybody, wherever you're listening here. Helps us out greatly, and you get to get new episodes every damn week. All right, diving now into it. What are we talking about today? You clicked on the link, you know. We're talking about the Juvenile Rex from Jurassic Park. No, I'm not talking about the baby that was in the Lost World movie and, of course, the Lost World book. No, we are actually talking about the juvenile teenager kind of Rex there from the first Jurassic Park book. One long forgotten and hasn't really got its media due other than in toys, and of course since the first book, the first movie toys ever came out there, they've had a Juvenile Rex toy, and that was in honor of that. And occasionally we do get a couple of the Juvenile Rex toys from time to time. But the Juvenile Rex, I think, deserves more recognition here for some horrifying scenes. But let's dive into the lore of it, shall we? Of course, this is from Michael Crichton's original Jurassic Park book, though, one that is very different, a bit different from the movie itself. And I highly recommend reading that, and maybe one day we'll go over the movie versus the book, if you guys enjoy it, because boy, that will take a long fucking time to record. Alrighty, now this one was the same color as the adult Rex, and the adult Rex in this one in the books were a little bit different. They were red brownish coloration with a yellow underbelly. This kiddo only came in at about 8 feet tall and would walk with a clumsy gait similar to like a puppy walking / running, is how it's described in the book. Now this one did actually live in the same exhibit as the adult. I don't know how as his ex-zookeeper you could get away with that, but c'est la vie, because the adult was massive there, so if it didn't get enough food, we'll just probably turn on the juvenile. Now the juvenile, of course, was kind of mentioned in a website for the extra media websites there for Jurassic World, or Fallen Kingdom, I think it was, where it did mention that the park was closed, and it showed off the website for Mizrani.com or whatever it was. And now, that being said there, it lived with this full-grown adult, but of course everything went to hell. Now during Dennis Nedry's sabotage of the park with the power cut off, it did escape alongside its big, massive adult friend. Now, there was a character from the books by the name of Ed Regis, who was a park worker, who I think deserves a lot more recognition too. I'd love to see Ed Regis come to life somewhere down the line. Now, he actually did encounter the Rex. While Grant and the kids had actually watched from afar, they saw Ed Regis there. As a park worker, he should have known way fucking better, but he didn't, and he just tried to startle the Rex. He was like, shoo, hey, get out of here. Like, he just tried it. It would startle it occasionally, but then eventually just looked at him like, what are you doing? You should run. And it would tilt its head and just look at him and be like, you need to run. And that's how it was described in the book. And what also happened with that is it actually started to play with them. It's like, all right, to hell with this. And started to play with them by pushing him down. An 8-foot tall super predator pushes him down and would let him get up and then push him down again. And then eventually, after Ed Regis was like, fuck this, screw you thing, he yelled at him, and then what did it do? It then jumped on him and slowly started to rip him apart while the kids and Grant watched from afar. Yeah, it is a terrifying scene in there too. I should get you to read the book. Now later, it did appear a couple of different times throughout the story. It later appeared during the river raft scene that we did see recently done in Jurassic World Rebirth, but this was Grant and the kids on the river raft where they would see herbivores, the Dilophosaurus on the riverbanks. Of course, the big adult was sleeping, and one of the kids did have an allergic reaction, so like just allergies, and started to sneeze and woke it up, and the Rex went swimming in there after them and shit. Now, what happened though is that the juvenile Rex was seen trying to steal a previously recently killed carcass by the adult Rex, and it was in there trying to start to kill it, like take it over and start to eat it. All this ticked the Rex off, and was the only thing that saved Alan and the kids from being eaten by the damn thing, and it sent it into a angry frenzy, scaring that juvenile off there and going back into the jungles. And we didn't see it until later on, actually. It was last seen roaring on the mountaintops as the survivors, Muldoon included, yep, he lives in the books, survivors then went off into the sunset, and they saw it roaring on the hill one last time before the island was bombed to smithereens. Yeah, that's right. That's what happened in the book. And we will not go any more into that, because if you want to know more about that, then hey, be sure to let me know in the comments on social media or wherever you're listening to the podcast or reviews and such to let me know that. And as always, everybody, be sure to again subscribe to wherever you're listening to the podcast for a new episode every week of Lore Pod for pop culture, lore and history, origins, all the stuff, and reviews, and hopefully interviews again from all over video games, comics, movies, television shows, and more. All right, everybody, as always, remember, stay creative, everyone.